Hello and welcome to the third video in our series on becoming a public company. If you haven't seen the first two videos, we highly recommend you go back and watch them. They're short and they contain a lot of great information that this video builds upon. Today we're going to explore going public as an established, successful company. We welcome back Gary Henrie, who is a highly respected securities attorney in the Salt Lake area who specializes in taking companies public and providing services for existing public companies. Welcome back, Gary.
Thank you, Stuart. It's good to be here.
Gary, today we're going to talk about a fairly specific situation, but one that I think occurs pretty frequently, and that's a company that's established and successful, but the owners are looking for an exit strategy for one reason or another.
First of all, Stuart, I cannot express how important this issue is. At some point in time, a business will become valuable and the owner will need to sell that business when they want to retire and move into their retirement years. If the company is public, they have many options that a private company does not have.
So what are some of those options and how do they work?
First of all, to exit a company, the company needs to be sold. And if it's a private company, it can only be sold based on its valuation of the value of its equipment, or maybe a valuation based on its profits annually. But those are fairly restrictive. You also have to find a buyer that is interested in that particular company. On the other hand, if the company is public, there is a ready valuation for that company because of the value of its stock in the market. And the owner can realize liquidity by merely selling his stock if he does not want to sell the entire company.
So Gary, you have a lot of experience and a really long career with public companies. What are some of the common reasons you see why an owner would want to sell part of his company?
Well, an owner can or needs to frankly sell their company as they move into their retirement years. But even prior to that time, the owner may need to sell some of the company in order to raise capital to pay for college tuition for children, meet a medical emergency, or help out other family members that may be in financial need. If the company is public, the owner can sell some of his stock, raise that capital without totally divesting himself of his business.
So with a public company, is it common to sell part of the shares as you go along, or how does that usually work from an owner perspective?
Stuart, I have found it is very common. In fact, some of the most high-profile people in our society have done that. For example, Bill Gates often has sold stock in Microsoft just to fund his personal financial interests. Another company with which I'm familiar is Dell Computers. Michael Dell has registered and sold stock every year just to build his personal portfolio and finance the parts of his life unrelated to his business interests.
And that's great, all that additional flexibility they have. Instead of selling their whole company at once, they can sell off little parts of it and still maintain a controlling interest.
That's right. Still control their company, still grow the company until they're finally ready at an older age to totally retire.
So it's my understanding that a public company has a value in and of itself as an entity.
That is right, Stuart. And I don't talk about this all the time because we plan on succeeding in our businesses.
Right.
But sometimes a business will fail. And if it's a private company, that failed business will have no value whatsoever. However, if the company is a public company, the public shell, as we call it, has an inherent value because it has stock that is listed on a stock exchange. It is a reporting company with the SEC. These are all valuable assets that this company has. I have seen shell companies with no business operations sell for as much as $250,000 to even $1 million.
So this is a great way for entrepreneurs and business owners to get back some of their value that they've put in and maybe invest it into another venture.
That is right. It's a very good reason. It almost makes going public foolproof to some extent.
That's great. Fantastic. Gary, I think we covered a lot of really great information, and I think there's a lot of stuff in these videos that a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners didn't know or would love to hear more about. I really appreciate you taking the time to answer my questions.
Oh, absolutely, Stuart, and I agree. This information should be extremely interesting to anyone starting or even developing a business plan that has already commenced business.
That concludes this video series. If you have any questions about taking your company public, contact us today. We'd be more than happy to talk to you, discuss your particular needs, and custom tailor a going public plan that works for your company or your idea as an entrepreneur. Thanks again for watching.